Woohoo! And we're live once again on another Tuesday. But because I have a down under friend in the house today, this is actually going to be a previously recorded live. But I have Roy all the way here, my merman friend from across the world. And so, Roy, before we get stuck in, can you please? Well, actually, let me introduce our topic and then I'll introduce you. So, our topic today is video brochures, the game-changing tool for author and business marketing. So lots of people are going to get value out of what we're doing today. It's going to help authors and it's going to help pretty much everybody else on LinkedIn. So you're getting a double shot today. So Roy, before we get stuck in talking, can you please tell people who you are and what you do?
Thank you. Thank you so much, my mermaid friend. And if I can just start off by saying that Gillian spoke to me some time ago about loving the ocean, and I do a video every Saturday morning at Bondi Beach. And from that day that she told me that she loves the sea, I named her my mermaid friend. And every time I go down to the beach, I always think to myself, this is really like a replay of my mermaid friend. So my name is Roy Kowarski. I'm based in Sydney, Australia. I call myself a promotional product disruptor. And the reason being is that I have a company, a business called Out There Branding, which assists small to medium-sized companies as well as Fortune 500 companies with their branding and marketing. And my my signature product is the video brochure. As you can see in the background, I've done over 30,000 video brochures over the last 10 years. So I like to think that I kind of know what I'm talking about, mainly because I've learned through the years what works, what doesn't work. But here's the important thing, and this is what we're probably going to be talking about today, is everything about using these video brochures has to do with a strategy. It's like somebody getting a Ferrari car and they don't know how to drive. So video brochures are only as good as the strategy that's employed. And that's my point of difference, is I have worked with many companies in many ways through many brands to be able to assist them with a strategy of using the video brochures to achieve the outcomes that are required.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I love it. I love it. And so we're talking today about authors. So everybody else can still listen in, but I want to hone in because this podcast and this LinkedIn Live is all about authors and helping authors with their marketing and also their writing and publishing of books. But today we're focusing on the marketing. And in my opinion, I come from a strong video background, a live video and recorded video background. So Roy and I have had talks before about the power of video marketing and how video is like literally, it's the next best thing to be in there. It truly is. And I love that you honed in on strategy. You have to have a strategy. And to me, there's so many different ways you can use video marketing to help authors promote their book, of sort of, why did I write my book trailer? And you can have book trailers and you can have video reviews and you can have stuff on Amazon and stuff on your website. But I love the idea of a video brochure because that is something that's like a disruptor, like you said, Roy. It's different than everything else. I can see it as recently we talked on this podcast about advertising and trying to get your book in a bookstore and how you have to be your own salesperson to get into the bookstore and talk about, hey, this is my book. I'm thinking a video brochure could be a part of your whole media kit. It could be used at trade shows. It could be used getting you speaking gigs, all sorts of different things. So Roy, let's step back, and for anybody who's not aware, can you walk us through what a video brochure is? Because there's probably people going, what is this? And know that we have a podcast. So there's some people that are going to just be listening to this. So if you could kind of record for the ear, speak for the ear, can you explain what a video brochure is?
Right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by saying to you, here's what looks like a book.
Okay. I love it.
Okay? When you open the book, it has a screen.
Mm.
And the screen is what enables the video to be played. So the surprise factor when somebody opens a book and all of a sudden a video plays, that's the wow factor.
Wow.
Now, I'm gonna because we're talking about authors here specifically. This video brochure was done for Netflix. Yes,
Mm.
Netflix.
Mm.
Okay, this is an Australian a series, a Netflix series, and what they did was they created this video, but we created it. We'd use these video brochures to send these to stakeholders to pre-advise them about what the series was all about. Now, here's the thing that I particularly want to start off by saying. As you can see just behind me over here, I have a number of different video brochures, and this one we did for Skype.
Oh, wow.
So, okay, so here's the important thing, and this is where the misconception about video brochures creeps in. When people think about a video brochure, they think, hold on a sec, so you got a book with a screen inside it. That's got to be a huge cost. It's got to be a very expensive thing. Here's my first point that I want to make. These are what we call reusable. You don't give these away. You use them to start conversations and get appointments. So if I was an author and I've had this exact conversation with our good friend Jane Jackson, because she's a career coach and she helps new, employees find jobs. We are using the video brochures for that. So if I was an author, here's some of the things that I would use the video brochure with. Number one, I would ensure that the actual artwork on the brochure is designated to the book. That's the first thing. So on the front of the cover would be all details about the book. And on the back would be details of how to get the book. And then what I would do, I would have 3 video slots in the video brochure. The first video would be a personalized message. I'm going to come back to this.
Okay.
The second one would be a review or a mix about your book. And the third would be a testimonial from somebody else that, like, for instance, has read the book and has said what impact it's made on them. So now coming back to the first video. So if I wanted to get in front, Gillian, you own this bookstore. It's a national bookstore, and you want to be able to get your book into that bookstore or get an interview in their store. So I would do the first video, and because we know about videos, you and me, and a lot of people that are scared of it, don't be afraid. So here would be the first thing. I would start off, as they opened the book, it would say, "Hey, Gillian, I thought I would send you this video brochure to be able to introduce myself and tell you what I want to achieve. I would like to A, B, C, and D. And have a look at video number 2, which is an overview of aspects of the book and what it's trying to do. And number 3 is a testimonial from somebody that's engaged with the book and what their thoughts are." So what are you doing? Number 1, you're introducing the book to a person. You're putting the message across to a person. Number 2, your video has got to have some sort of mix about what the book's about and what it tries to achieve. And number 3 is the credibility from somebody else. So what this would do is I would then call you up afterwards. "Hey, Gillian, did you get my video brochure?" There's only 2 answers to that. Yes, I got it. No, in fact, yes, I got it. And then I ask the question, well, can I have an appointment to have a chat with you? There's only 2 answers to that one. Yes or no. Yes, that's great. Well, when can I come in? And when you get there, you get the video brochure back. You say, "I'm assuming you have no use for the brochure. I would like to use it again to be able to make appointments with my, this company or a trade show I've got coming up." So you got your appointment. If they say no, then what I would suggest is you say to them, "Well, I understand that there's no particular, compelling reason to meet with me. Do you mind if I swing past to get the brochure, seeing as though you're not going to be using it? Guess what? You've got your meeting.
I love
And
it.
yeah, and that's what strategy is all about. So I would say that if I was, I've mentioned this already, I would say to authors that I would utilize video brochures to start conversations, to use at a trade show. So if you're on a stand,
Hmm.
and it's you on the stand, and you've got 10 people there, you could have those 10 people while you're speaking to one, 9 of the people can be looking at the brochure. And they're
Mm,
not taking it away, don't forget. I know I'm reinforcing this, but this is really important. You're not giving it away. Somebody comes on and wants to know about your book. You're not giving them a video brochure and saying, take this home. Not at
right,
all. You're
right.
using it. Now, if you wanted to, for instance, get a specific interview or become a guest speaker, a keynote speaker, based on your book, then what you'd do is you'd use the video brochure to be able to explain why you are the person that they should choose as the keynote speaker. So it's a
Mm.
tool to get all of these outcomes, but only used within the confines of a strategy.
Got it. Got it. That makes so much sense. So I love this. By the way, I think this is so exciting and I love this. And I love the idea that it's like it forces, especially, I always talk about being an introvert and it would force me. It's like, I'm gonna go get that darn brochure back. Like it's like with a paper brochure, yes, you just give it away, and it would never be seen again, and somebody's going to toss it. But this is so nice that it's like, there's no way I'm not going to follow up and get it back, but it's starting those conversations. So I love it. It's like that foot in the door. So let's talk about the mechanics. Like how long of videos are we talking for video 1, 2, and 3?
Okay, so let me maybe first say this, is that I've explained that they're reusable,
Mm-hmm.
they are rechargeable. In other words, you can
Mm.
charge them up, and it has about
Mm.
80 hours of playtime. So
Oh,
you work that
wow.
out, playtime, not 80 minutes of just, of that's how long it takes. Um, so they're rechargeable, they're reloadable. You can reload videos on. So you're not stuck with the
Mm.
same videos every time. So the mechanics of it are as follows. That the starting point would be to say, look, um, I want to be able to do A, B, and C. So we have a process which is included in what we do. Is we will step through all the artwork for you.
Mm.
And by the way, we do this internationally. I've done 30,000 video brochures across the world. I've sent quite a lot into the US. Anyway, all around the world. You don't need to be in Australia to get video brochures from
Got
me.
it.
Um, but the important thing, and this comes back to you and my passion, and that is, what is the video content about? You can't just take your camera and just take a picture of your book and then think that that's going to. You got to be creative.
Mm.
You've got to put a bit of time and energy into the videos. So the first video, as I mentioned, is a very easy video. Take your phone, you record it. Hey, Gillian, I'd love to have a meeting with you, and you download that onto slot number. Let me show you here. You download it onto slot number 1, 2, or 3 of the video. You can see there's the different buttons on the bottom. So the first video is the easy peasy one. The third video is the not so easy peasy one, and the middle one is the more difficult one. So let's go to the third one. Let's go to the easiest, to a little bit more difficult, and then the third one, which is the most difficult. The third one is the testimonial from somebody else. So
Mm.
all you want to be able to do is to say, Gillian, I know you've read my book. Can you help me out of here? Won't you give me a video testimonial around, what you thought about the book? We could do it in this format like we're doing it right now,
Mm-hmm.
or you could get somebody at home to do it for you, or you could, a lot of the times, let's be practical. It's not like I can get in my car and drive across to you and do the video and come home. That's the easy way. The more difficult way is engineering it so that it gets done.
Mm,
And
mm,
so there are two important things with these videos. Number one is to have some sort of background behind you. And number two is to give the person the script of
mm.
what you want them to say. Now, when you're talking about a testimonial, you don't have to tell them what they have to say, but you have to show them what what they need to include in it. And you
Right,
know exactly what I'm talking about.
right.
So the script would be, what I want you to do is I want you to be able to tell people your experience of having read the book. What were the takeaways
Mm.
and what was your conclusion? So if you don't tell somebody that, all they're going to do is they're just going to jabber on. And you know this because you are absolute gun with videos. So let's go to the more complicated one, which is actually the video of the book and aspects around it. Now you can decide for yourself how advanced you want to take this. If you want to do it properly, get someone that knows about video content and let them help you with this.
Mm.
And that means get the book, make a little bit of a video with somebody in the book talking about it, have some engagement, have some movement, have some pictures, and have somebody, talking about what it took to do the book and the message. And then that is your mix.
Mm.
So once you've done something like that, you need to add a bit of music in, a little bit of captions. So it needs a little bit of work. And that's why I said the easy peasy one was the personalized message. The more difficult one was the testimonial. And the third one, which is not overcomable, but it means you've got to put some effort in. Because when somebody opens a video brochure and they get something playing at them that holds their attention, you have their attention.
Mm. Mm. I see that 100%. And I could see that, basically number 3, once it's done, and maybe you have a couple of people and you do a couple of Zoom calls with people and you might say, okay, you were my beta reader, so maybe you'd be a good person to have an interview with. And I could lead you through those discussions, questions, and then I can like snip just the Zoom meeting that like addressed what I wanted. And maybe I have 3 or 4 of those. So they could be interchangeable. I could see number 1, I record based on who I'm giving it to, bookstore versus a speaking engagement versus, maybe I want to get on like the Saturday morning, coffee show or something like that. Or I want to get on Oprah. So I really want to impress her. And then the one in the middle, I'm thinking that's more like a creative, like if I was making a trailer for my book. So something that would
Yes.
be very professional, sort of third party images, maybe people reading the book, the music in the background, what you would expect to see in a trailer. Like when you go to Amazon and you see those very professional trailers and, nice effects flying in and all that, something that's very high level. And then once you have that, it's done. So what's sort of the timing? Is it like 30 seconds, 15 seconds, a minute? How does that all work?
Okay, so there's one thing I always knew if I came onto your show. You know all the right questions because you are an expert with video, and so that question is absolutely crucial because the first video shouldn't be longer than 30 seconds.
Okay.
It's not complicated. Hello, hi Gillian. I thought I would send you a video brochure to give you an overview about my book, and I'd love an opportunity for a conversation so I can showcase my book in your bookstores. Over and done. 20 seconds, 30 seconds max. The third one is it's also not complicated. Do not make that longer than 30 to 45 seconds. No more than that. Try and keep it to 30 seconds. And the trailer itself, which strangely enough is exactly what Netflix did. This is the trailer to their series. So you're absolutely 100% spot on. That should not be longer than 90 seconds to 2 minutes maximum. 90 seconds is the ideal.
Mm.
Because if you want to get people's attention and hold their attention, when you go over 90 seconds, which is a minute and a half, you've lost their interest. Unless you've got the most ridiculously, you know, animated something that'll keep their attention for 4 or 5 minutes. Rather choose the easy peasy option, and I know I can use your words, because 90 seconds is perfect. and
I
you
love
are
that.
absolutely spot on, is share all the aspects as a trailer. Because what you're doing is you're giving them a taste of what is to come.
Exactly, exactly. And to be honest with you, Roy, whenever I'm seeing trailers for movies, most of the time I say, this is too long. You showed me the whole movie. You were supposed to just whet my appetite and make me want to watch it. Now I know, okay, they all survived. Big deal. I don't want to watch the show. And I think it's the same thing if you're doing a book trailer. It's like just enough that I'm curious of going, I think I want to know more. That's all you're doing, not convincing, just whetting somebody's appetite. So I'm with you. Short is best.
We're on the same page.
Yes.
What you
Yes.
want people to be able to do, which with that trailer, is to say, I've seen enough to want to read this book.
Mm, mm, I love this. And I can imagine that not many people are utilizing something like this. So
No,
this is going to make you stand out in a sea of sameness because, every speaker, they have their speaker reel. So they just send that all in and everybody's got this and, whatever. But I think something like this, people would be like, wow. And then the very fact that you customize the outside, I could see, I've done 4 books, right? So I could see each book, here's a book and I get the video brochure to go with the book. And it's like, and I just know if I'm going to be meeting with people, I have all my video brochures in my book. So I'm ready to go.
right. And then not only that, but I'm so pleased that you mentioned multiple authors. So the first one, let's assume it's your first book. So that would be dedicated to the book.
Mm,
But the next book, I would then say, as well as a previous author for this book. So
mm,
now you can use that video brochure for both the books. And
mm,
then your third book, you can say previous authors to these books. Now you've got three books on the same video brochure cover. So
mm,
now what you're doing is you're enabling yourself to be able to use it for any of those 3 books.
mm. I love that. I love that. That's great. So, if you kind of take it out beyond working with authors and just, thinking of all the thousands and thousands you've made of these for your clients in all different industries, where are you finding this kind of media material has the best bang for its buck? Just is it trade shows? Is it one-on-one meetings you send ahead? Sort of like if you were to advise us strategically, anybody in particular, where are you finding these come in handy the most?
Well, the reality is that it comes back to the word strategy once again. So they can be used in many, many ways, but each particular use has got its own strategy. So
Mm,
as a door opener, to be able to get a conversation with a company that you've never spoken with before, you'd send it to them, and the strategy you'd employ was very similar to what I spoke to you about. And I said, have you received the video brochure? Yes. Can I come and see you? Yes or no? That's a strategy for that. On a trade show, it is used as information a delivery to people. So while they're waiting to speak to you, they're using it for that. Um, so they're very, very many different uses. So Jane Jackson, as an example, we're running a program at the moment, a test program that new, employees that are going for new job interviews, they're using this as an entree to send
mm,
ahead to say, this is what I'd like to be, you know, employed for because of this and this and this. Probably the most significant thing is I've been selling these video brochures for over 10 years. And I would say that upwards of 60 to 70% of people that I show the video brochures to have never seen one before. And I've been
mm,
doing this for 10 years. So what that really says is that they do create the wow factor. And I'm
mm.
going to stress one important point. These are not to be given away. These are
Yep.
to be used to start conversations or to be given to strategic partners to promote your book to somebody else. But
Mm,
again, they're not used to give away. This is not something you go with 100 business cards and you just give out the 100 business cards. These are here you use to get a conversation and you get it back. You use for a conversation, you get it back. You used to go to a trade show, let people see it. If somebody wants to take it away, you want to know from them this. Where are you taking this to? You want to show somebody else. That's fantastic. Take the video brochure, but tell me who you're going to be showing it to so I can make an appointment to go and see them.
Mm.
And if they won't give you the name, don't give them the video brochure.
I love that. It's like you own it, so own it.
100%.
It's like, yeah, it's like I'm imagining like a tethering rope to it. You know, it's like you
That's
could
exactly right.
even if you had it like if you had a booth at a trade show and a table, because a lot of times, you know, you do have like a lot of authors and
Yes.
you know, and I know another thing you do is banners and stuff too, Roy, but it's like I could imagine if I was at like an entrepreneurial conference and I have a book about writing business writers to business people to write their business book. So I might go to an entrepreneur conference and I could set up a table. I probably would want to have some sort
Yes,
of chain
quite
to
right.
these
Quite
because
right.
I don't want people wandering off. So I think that's just absolutely brilliant. I love it. I love
Absolutely.
it.
And when you just said that now, it just sort of dawned on me. If you get the keynote speaking gig, when you go to the gig, you have a little table alongside off the
Mm,
stage where your video brochures will be sitting. And before you do your address or after your address or during your address, you point down to the video brochures and say, at the end of my address, please feel free to come across and have a chat with me and have a look at some of the things that we do in our video brochure.
mm, mm. I love that. I love that. And I could actually even see how you could be sitting on a plane because like sometimes we have these serendipitous moments where it's like you go, I think that person is kind of a person I want to be in front of, but I'm a little nervous. And I literally could see that you could be sitting on a plane with somebody and said, you could just say, have you ever seen something like this before? I just got this for my book. And it's like, who wouldn't be curious? It's just like curious, you know, curiosity killed the cat. It's like you would
100%.
be so curious. And I think if somebody opens it up, like you said, people are like, oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like this. So they're
I,
curious and learning about you all at the same time.
Absolutely. I love what you've just said now, because here's another aspect that is so crucial. Is, as I say, I've been selling these video brochures for over 10 years, and I've sold over 30,000 of them. I have never, and I'm going to repeat the word never, I've never experienced one person that opens a video brochure and the screen plays and says, no, I'm not watching that. Never. That's the power of video.
I would imagine that. I would imagine that. That's so true because it's video just it commands our attention and we just you know, like you said, there's not much. Now they can hear it, right? So it's not just moving pictures,
Yep,
there's audio because I heard
yep,
it when you opened it. So
yep.
they're going to hear it. They're set for auto play. So as soon as you open it, they don't. Now, do they automatically go to the next one or does the person have to hit number 2?
No, they automatically. So
Mm,
my recommendation is 3 video slots. So
mm,
when you load the videos on, you preface the name of the video 010203. In slot number 1 will always play 01, and when 01 finishes, it will play 02, and in slot number and then it'll go 03. In number 2 video, it will play number 2 first, then number 3, then number 1. And the third one will play 312.
got it. Got it. Hmm, that's brilliant. So, how, how do you send these to people? Do you put them in the mail? Do you have to do like a FedEx? You got to stick it in a cab? Like, how do you get these to people?
You've got to send it with a courier, I mean, look, there are 2 ways to do it. The one way is
Mhm,
to go and drop it off, and
right?
and when you drop it off, you don't just drop the video brochure off. You put a card on it, and you say, "Hey, Gillian, I thought I would introduce you to my book,"
Mm.
and you put it into an envelope, and you address the envelope to the person. So it either goes to the person or their executive assistant, one of the two.
So
So
hand
that's how.
delivery, hand delivery. Got it.
Or if you, so it may not be practical to hand deliver to, all many times. It's not practical for me to hand deliver. I will send it with a courier, and
Mm,
on the outside of the envelope will be exactly who the person is. And
mm,
I always put a card with it. Say,
mm.
Gillian, I'd love to have a chat with you. Have a look at my brochure, and I'm going to give you a call in the next few days. And
Mm.
and here's the other important thing. Don't send a video brochure and phone 2 weeks later. 2 to 3 days maximum.
Got it. Got it. Because if they haven't seen it, then they'll say, oh my gosh, yes, that's sitting on my desk. Hang on. Literally, you could hang on the phone while they're looking at it, or say, okay, well, let me give you 5 minutes and I'll call you
Yeah.
back in 5 minutes or something like that. It's like,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
And I just have to share this one story. It's a very quick one. I could not get a conversation with a storage and moving company, so I knew pretty well, for weeks and months upon months. I sent him one of my out there branding video brochures, and I addressed it to him, and I said, "Hi, Anthony, I would love to have a conversation with you. Have a look at my second video, which is my corporate video, and the third with testimonial." He called me straight away. He said to me, "Now you've got my attention.
Mm,
When can you come and see me?"
I love that. I love that because yes, it is something that I think would it's so disruptive, but in a positive way. It's just, I don't know how you could ignore something like this. I
You
just think
can't.
this is so brilliant. This is so brilliant. And, I could even, I just could imagine so much with this. Like my brain's going pop, 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 pop. I got all sorts of great ideas. And so then you said, and it also recharges. So you said it has how many hours of play did you say it had?
80 hours of
80
play time.
hours. That's good.
I mean, I've got video brochures that have been here, my own ones that I've had for 2 years, and the battery's still 90% because I haven't opened it to play it.
Wow. Wow. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Okay. So Roy, we are, believe it or not, 30 minutes just flew
Yes.
right on past, which it does. But I just think this has just been so exciting. I can see this. So of course, anybody wants to get in touch with Roy, get all the details on how these works, how you can get set up. He works with people all over the world. So just go ahead, reach out to Roy and get connected with him. If you're not already connected with him, follow him, send him an invite, whatever, and get everything figured out. Because I think this is just such a cool thing. I could see it for so many things. Roy, is there anything I should have asked you that because I never show up with a list of questions. I just prefer a free flowing. Is there anything you'd like to talk about that I didn't ask you?
Just one thing. Look, you covered it extremely well. Probably the most important question, which there's no reason that you would have asked it, is how many do I need to order? I don't need to invest in 100, 200 of these. My minimum order is 10 units.
Got it.
So it's not and that's why you reuse them. So yes, the price for 10 is more expensive than the price for 50, but
Right.
you're not talking about enormous sums of money. And the return on investment is absolutely key. So 10 units is the minimum order.
Got it. Got it.
And
Would that be 10 for the same book?
10 of the same.
Okay,
So
10 of the same.
10 of those exactly the same as that. And they are delivered anywhere in the world, any country, in anywhere. I've delivered to Vietnam before. I've delivered to South America before. I've delivered many into North America, Canada, the US, up to the UK. So absolutely no problem. And we assist with the whole process. It's not like someone has to go and organize their own artwork and where am I going to start? What am I going to do? We take that pain away.
I love that. I love that. And then do you do the initial upload or you just design the cover, the setup, and then you say, okay, here's your, it's blank with your slots. And then, you can just do it on your own computer. I'm assuming Mac, Windows, either or.
Yeah. So ideally the main video, which is the number 2 video, which is
right.
That one, ideally, we can either load it or we can tell you how to load it. It's the easiest thing in the world. All you have to do is have it on your computer and copy and paste it into the video slot. And just important thing is to number it as to which sequence you want it to be in. So we can upload it or you can upload it.
Okay, that makes sense. And just a standard MP4 file, nothing crazy.
Yeah. We have all the pixels and all we got all the details and all the spec that we assist people with.
I love this. I love this. And this has just been absolutely brilliant. So I thank you so much for coming on the show today and talking about this. I think it's like such an awesome way for authors and everyone else to get out there and market themselves using video in a very strategic, clean, and organized way. So this was absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to go ahead and see if okay. So thank you for joining me today, Roy. Thank for everybody who is tuning in on the replay or listening on the podcast. And this has been an exciting, exciting show. So thank you so much, Roy.